There are too many unanswered questions and strange circumstances swirling around the tragic death of NBA superstar Kobe Bryant to be ignored. Everything from the timing of his death to the manner in which it happened raises suspicion. Is it just a coincidence that Bryant died less than 24 hours after LeBron James beat his scoring record and the day of the 2020 Grammys? Why was his death predicted multiple times in strikingly accurate ways?
It's Kobe Bryant!
Upon closer inspection, what appeared to be merely a tragic accident gets weirder and weirder. Recently, we all heard the tragic news. The world of basketball had lost a legend. On Sunday, January 26th, a helicopter crashed into the Calabasas Hills, killing 9 on board. Soon afterwards, TMZ reported that basketball star Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter had been among those on board. The news sent shockwaves around the world as we learned of the sudden loss of a cultural icon. But Kobe's death had been predicted in the media several times, each one eerily specific. Is it just a coincidence or evidence of something deeper? In 2011, Kobe Bryant made a commercial for Nike in which he unveiled his Mamba persona. In the ad, which features Bruce Willis, Kobe squares off against a villain played by Kanye West. It all ends with a chilling helicopter explosion and the final shot of a flaming helicopter. 1 year later, in 2012, an eerily specific tweet appeared from the account .noso that read, "Kobe is going to end up dying in a helicopter crash." Now, the viral tweet has sparked a flurry of questions. Is this guy a time traveler? How did he know this would happen with such certainty back in 2012? But the bizarre predictions don't end there. In 2016, a Cartoon Network show called Legends of Chamberlain Heights aired an episode appropriately titled End of Days, which depicted Kobe Bryant dying in a helicopter crash, followed by an explosion, eerily mirroring Sunday's tragic event.
Oh shit! It's Kobe Bryant!
Help me.
Just pass me the trophies and we'll pull you out!
Pass.
Comedy Central quickly pulled the show after the news spread. We have all known for a while now that these cartoons have hidden messages in them. And here again, we are only left to wonder if the creators knew something the rest of us did not. In the realm of alternative research, these foretold events are known as predictive programming. The idea behind predictive programming is to seed the public unconscious with a certain event that has been planned for the future. Having this image in the collective unconscious is believed to condition the masses into being more accepting of the event when it eventually occurs, and readily accept the official narrative. After all, whether they consciously remember it or not, they have seen it happen before. Another reason for predictive programming has to do with Luciferianism, which the elite practice. There is a belief that in order to add power to their rituals, they need to actually tell what they are going to do. It has to do with the collective unconscious using the power of suggestion to affect reality. Another mysterious element surrounding Kobe's death is the timing. On Saturday, January 26th, LeBron James surpassed Kobe's lifetime scoring record, knocking him out of the 3rd spot. And he did it in Bryant's hometown of Philadelphia, no less. For many, this was seen as a passing of the torch moment, but the occasion would take on a chilling new meaning following Bryant's death less than 24 hours later. But that wasn't the only coincidence surrounding this tragic event. It also occurred on the day of the Grammys, the music industry's biggest night. The Grammy Awards show is well known to frequently include occult themes and rituals, from subtle symbolism to full-blown mass rituals. The 2020 Grammys was no exception, and you better believe they channeled all the energy they could from the recent death of Kobe. In fact, the show was eerily reminiscent of the 2012 Grammys, which occurred the day after Whitney Houston's sudden death. Most tragically, Kobe's 13-year-old daughter was also killed in the crash. What many do not know is that Whitney's daughter had a near-fatal drowning incident the night before she died. Is all of this just a coincidence? Another factor is the ratings. In the immediate aftermath of the sudden death of a cultural figure such as Whitney Houston or Kobe Bryant, people tune in because they know there will be a public memorial of some type. Similar to how Michael Jackson died 3 days before the BET Awards. And let's not forget, the crash took place 1 week before sports' biggest night, the Super Bowl. But let's examine the memorial they performed for Mr. Bryant. Artwork included dark sets with fire in the background and a black and red color scheme. Does that look like a normal memorial service to you? The most telling factor, however, was the dress of the performers during one of the main tributes. The celebrants are decked in all white, with white turbans or head coverings. This is the traditional dress of voodoo practitioners. Voodoo is one of the strongest and darkest occult traditions, and many Illuminati members incorporate it into their practice. But if that isn't strange enough, the 2020 Grammys were held in the Staples Center, where Kobe Bryant played his entire career.
In the house that Kobe Bryant built.
In fact, the location was immediately turned into a tribute center for him. The Grammys also featured quite a bit of death and occult symbolism, especially the performance featuring Billy Ray Cyrus and Lil Nas X. The set featured a bleeding skull, the obligatory horns, and a UFO. The two sang about sports bars and materialism as the rest of the world continued to mourn. Alicia Keys flashed the 666 sign during her tribute to Kobe. If that wasn't enough, the Illuminati's new dark princess, Billie Eilish, won the most prizes of the night. Another mysterious aspect of Bryant's death is all of the Illuminati occult connections swirling around the tragic event. According to the Satanic calendar, January 26th is a ritual date known as the Grand Climax. Death by fire is a means of sacrifice in the world of the occult, and Kobe's young daughter, who also died, was 13 years old. The elite are obsessed with symbolism, and the number 13 is an important number in the world of the Illuminati, as is the number 9, an upside-down 6. 9 people died in the helicopter crash. The same number of people who died in the plane crash that killed Aaliyah in 2001. But perhaps the most blatant connection came from the mainstream media itself, when one broadcast for British Sky News made a curious comment while discussing Bryant's death. In regards to his last game, she casually added that the Illuminati were there.
Bryant retired from Basketball Anna in 2016. His last game was attended by the Illuminati of celebrity, and Jack Nicholson was there, David Beckham was there. Everyone wanted a ticket to be attended by the Illuminati.
Are the elite admitting in a strange way that the cabal had something to do with Bryant's death? But let's quickly go back to the advertisement Bryant did with Nike in 2011 that seemed to eerily predict his untimely death. The video itself is very symbolic. When we take a closer look, we realize that Kanye's character, cryptically known as the Boss, represents Satan. Here he is seen dressed in all black in front of his collection of soles, represented by Nike tennis shoes. Shoes have souls. But the soul he has yet to collect is that of Kobe Bryant. Kobe goes to battle the boss, and first must meet with his assistant, played by Bruce Willis. If you look carefully, you notice Bruce Willis's character materializes from a burst of fire in the middle of the court. The basketball court is outlined by a ring of fire, similar to the circle on the ground used in witchcraft rituals. Once he faces the boss on the court, he must battle with demonic-looking players, conjured by Kanye. Although in the end, Kobe defeats the boss and survives the game, we are still left with an image of a burning helicopter. Does this represent Kobe's own struggle against dark forces in the entertainment industry? If so, could this mean his death had actually been planned for quite some time? But all of this makes much more sense when we analyze Kobe's involvement with the world of the dark occult. Bryant starred in a weird video produced by ESPN that one article aptly described as an evil Sesame Street. The skit featured a puppet called Little Mamba, a play on Kobe Bryant's Black Mamba alias. In one of the strangest videos you'll come across, NBA superstar Kobe Bryant introduces kids to the idea of a muse cage.
Muse cage!
Which he defines as an environment filled with objects and symbols that keep you inspired and motivated. But wait, it gets weirder. There are light musings and dark musings.
Light musings and dark musings.
Representing dark and light, black and white, positive-negative duality prevalent in occult teachings. If you notice on the picture of the Baphomet, there is a white moon in one corner and a black moon in the opposite corner. This is to reflect the fundamental concept of duality. According to Kobe, in order to access your inner beast, you must tap into these dark musings.
If you're looking for your inner beast, it's most likely living inside of a dark muse,
which are associated with fear, anger, and hatred. They literally use the word beast throughout the video.
I do need to find my inner beast.
Basically, the skit teaches kids Luciferian doctrine, and that in order to truly succeed, they need to use the dark side. Don't forget, ESPN is owned by Disney. But that isn't Kobe's only foray into the world of children's occult. He also had his own Harry Potter-esque books called the Wizenard series, which seems to be another way to soft-pedal witchcraft to kids. In the age of fake news, news outlets must be extra cautious whenever word of a celebrity's death first gets out. But somehow TMZ always seems to have the inside scoop before anyone else, confidently proclaiming the entertainer dead, while other sources are still verifying. And in the case of Kobe Bryant, TMZ reported the news just a little over half an hour after the police had first been notified of a downed aircraft, and before the families had even been notified. How were they able to confirm the identities of those on board so quickly? Another unanswered question swirling around this case is, why didn't the helicopter have a black box or voice recorder? These safety features would have given valuable information about what caused the crash. Without the black box, we may never know what factors led to the horrific incident. When you sit back and add it all up, all the creepy predictions, the timing occurring right after his record was beaten and right before the Grammys, the symbolism associated with the event, and all of the occult connections, it becomes increasingly difficult to write this off as just another tragic Hollywood accident. There are simply too many coincidences to dismiss. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments, and please be sure you are subscribed and hit the bell. I've had a lot of people telling me they aren't being notified when I post, or that they have been unsubscribed altogether. So thumbs up this video and make sure you're signed up for notifications by hitting the bell, and help me out by sharing this video yourself. I especially want to thank all the wonderful, generous people who support me on Patreon or PayPal. YouTube is trying their best to shut me down, and it is you who are keeping me going, so thank you.